Hey guys, Awkjellybean here. So I am in the village right now, and the village is called Nkonya Wurupong. This is where my dad is originally born, and I'm just gonna be showing you guys like highlights of the things that we do while we're down here, because the life in the village is definitely different from the life in the city, like in Accra, which is the same for anywhere, like rural life versus city life, that type of stuff. But yeah, I'm just gonna show you guys like any cool stuff that we do. And I'm actually at a bed and breakfast. This was built by my dad and some of his brothers, and it's named after my dad's parents, which is my grandparents. And I'll talk more about that in a minute after this little introduction. So to talk more about the village, my grandparents, my grandma, my granddad, they were each from a prominent clan in the village. So those clans eventually joined forces, and now it's just one big clan. And well, I'm still part of a prominent family within the clan. My family is pretty up there, and you can tell by the houses that I will show, like my grandfather's house and his father's house. They're pretty big compared to the other houses that are there. But besides the houses in my family and the village, there's also chiefs and queen mothers, and they're not married to each other. Queen mothers look after the, domestic side of the village, make sure everything's okay with women, children. If there's a funeral, they're there to, check on the people. And then the chief is basically like the head of, well, there's a clan chief, and then there's a paramount chief, which is the chief of all chiefs. And they're basically like, just the leader of the community. But also I should mention that there is a specific dialect, a specific language that they do speak down here in the village, and it's only within this village that they understand the language. It's called Nkonya, which is just the name of the village. And there's 10 different towns within the village. My dad happens to be from the biggest town. But anyways, although there are different towns, they all speak the same language. So if you're not from this village, Nkonya, you will not understand. Then there's also Twi, which is a common language that they speak in Accra. And then there's, of course, English. And I'm sure there are other languages in different villages across Ghana, but these are the only ones that I am aware of. But anyways, moving on to gender roles. This is a patriarchal society, but that does not mean that the women aren't respected and valued. They are very important because, of course, women take care of the children, they have the children, and they also cook the food. And as far as food, the women cook, and if they are not living with the husband, if they're still living at their own house, or not their own house, but their family house, maybe their father's house, then they will have the children bring down the food to wherever the husband is, or they will bring it themselves. And also, they don't eat together. Usually the men eat together and the women eat together, but the men and women don't eat together, if that makes sense. More about like the roles. For example, there's me and my brother. My brother is younger than me. He is 15. I am 20, going on 21. So let's say my dad isn't at the house. He is automatically the head of the household. The male is always the head of the household, regardless of if he is younger than me or not, even if my mom is also in the house. And that's just because the men are to protect the women, which makes sense, as men are, biologically stronger than women. So that makes sense. And when houses are passed down, through generations, it's the son who gets really the rights to the house. So if there's like 10 daughters and one son, and that son could be the youngest out of all of them, he automatically has rights to the house, because when, because if you're a guy, you either can stay in your father's house or build your own house. Women can stay in their father's house or get married and move into their husband's house. They have an option. Men can't marry and then move in with their wife. That's not a thing down here. They don't move in with the wives. Either the wives move in or yeah, they stay at their own place. The men stay at their own place. They don't move in with the wife. But that's all I'm gonna say about that, and I'm gonna start on with the video. So here we're on the way to the village, and we have to cross over the Volta Lake, and this is the bridge that we're going across. And at the end points of the bridge are people, women selling food because they have to make their living. They will crowd around your car and stand by the windows and ask you to buy what they're selling. So right here is the sign of the bed and breakfast that I mentioned that I was staying in, and it is called the Oasis R&B. The R and the B are the initials of my grandparents. So over there is the reception, and there's a water tank up there where the water comes out of, well, where the water is stored. Then over here is like a sitting area, another sitting area. And then my dad just told us today that this is where the water is pumped out of the ground, around like over 600 feet underneath the ground. So it's pumped from there and then goes to the water tank up there so it can be distributed to the rooms. And then over there is the rooms, and then the car is over here. Over there is where you can put some trash in the trash bin. And then this is where me and my family are staying, in like the main area. So we're gonna walk inside. So this is the sitting area, like the living room area in here. And then the room me and my brother are staying at, the room my parents are staying in, some table with some bread that we got on the road yesterday. And then in here is like a sink area. It was supposed to be a kitchen, but it was too small. And then here's the freezer. And then a window. Then outside this area, you have like outside where I just showed you where the reception was. With the grill, here's some water, some eggies, and another sink, and then there's some more pots. So over here is my grandfather's compound, my dad's dad, and as you can see, there are a bunch of rooms, and then there is this building right here that my grandma stays in right now. It used to be, I actually don't know what it used to be, but they fixed it up so that she can live comfortably in there. And then the building adjacent from it used to be the kitchen. They don't cook in there anymore. And then at the top of this hill is my grandma's portion of the house. She built that house herself, so that's her actual house, but it just happens to be within the compound property. So here are some mud houses, and not everyone's houses are built out of mud. Most houses are built out of cedar block or cement, but here are some mud houses deep within the village. And mud is designed to help keep the inside of the house cool because it is really hot down here. And you can see that the roofs are made out of like straw and sticks, but they do not leak, which is very nice. Okay, so here we're at the monkey sanctuary, and there's a monkey eating a banana in the trees. And then in this clip, you can see the alpha male crawling across one of the tree branches. And then here you can see a monkey with a baby monkey on its stomach, and it is trying to eat the banana out of the hand. And this video clip is a close-up of me holding a banana with the monkey trying to eat it. And then in this video clip, you can see my dad also doing the same thing. So here you can see some cocoa pods. We're walking through the fields to the farms. And then here's this very large leaf that feels very thick, and when you rub it on your skin, it makes it look like there is blood on your hands. So here this lady is making a broom. She is shearing off the pieces of the leaves just to save the piece in the middle, which is like a stick. And here's what brooms look like down here when they're finished. Okay guys, so we're on the boat and we're trying not to move because we don't want it to tip over or something. So we're just sitting really still. And then here is the making of palm wine. So they have to smoke the tree out so that it won't spoil, and then they do this for about a few weeks, and then afterwards they can tap out the liquid from the tree, and then you have palm wine. And then here you can see a group of people playing instruments. This is during a funeral. And what I like about the church services here is that they make it lively no matter what the occasion, such as a funeral. Okay guys, so that is the end of the highlights of the village, and I hope you enjoyed this video and have an awesome day.